I will never describe as a red flag, and at this point it should just be common sense, is that whenever you are online, no matter what platform you're on, whether it's here on YouTube, it could be on Facebook, it can be on TikTok, it can be on any of these platforms. If you come across a woman who is in her late 50s, early 60s, and she is a manifestation guru, she is a dating counselor, she is a clarity coach, or whatever names these women come up with to sort of let the other women know that they can help them in any sort of situation in their life when they become these beacons of hope in these women's eyes. These women are over in those older years and in age, and they are still dating and they are still giving advice to women about what types of men they need to find or how to get the best men, or even worse is whenever they go on dates with men and then put their dating stories for others to watch. Is very telling, and I would never call that a red flag, but it is definitely something that I see and I automatically just think it's common sense that these women actually have no idea what they're talking about.
I went on a date the other night, and I have to tell you, I've got to share the tea. I'm going to spill the beans. I'm not going to tell you who he is, just because I don't. You guys know I share everything. I'm going to tell you about the date, and you know that I share so much about my life with you. I'm not going to share much about him and his name because I don't want to do that. I don't want to be negative, but I want to tell you what turned me off. Bad manners, but not just one thing, not just the super bad manners. I don't know. It was a first date. He didn't open the door. It was an entire evening of super bad. And I thought, I have 2 sons. And I think this has a lot to do with the way people are raised. Because honestly, he seemed okay. It's just that there was so much that it turned me off. But I thought to myself, I have 2 sons. And when they were teenagers, I taught them, I think, super good manners. I can't overlook it. I can't. And probably there were other things that just did not. Maybe it was just not. But that was the first thing.
Why are you the way that you are? Honestly, every time I try to do something fun or exciting, you make it not that way. I hate so much about the things that you choose to be.
Fellas, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, whoa, what's going on here? She is, what am I looking at? Well, this is a dating coach. No, not a dating coach. Sorry. This is not a dating coach. This is a motivational guru person. And a lot of her TikToks are not about dating or anything, but the ones that are similar to this, and they are very telling for women this age where they are at the end of, they're approaching the sunset of their years. I'm going to put it that way. They're in the sunset of their years, and they are still as entitled and as still selfish as ever. And you know what? This woman just cannot be bothered to spend time with a guy who is acting the way this man's acting. He's not opening the door. He's not doing all these things. Can you believe this? This man took time out of his busy day to, in my eyes, maybe for charity, maybe boredom. Some of these guys have these other matches they can just fall into. So they will reach out to these women who are TikTok famous. They have 100, and these men are interested. She's got some clout. Let me go out with her, see what she's like. And then they are completely they're bad dates. These women are bad dates. And these men they know it in the beginning, and then they go out with the women. They see what they really look like. The filters aren't there. The makeup is on overdrive, and they're checking out already. Oh man. And then they go back to their condo and text the 24-year-old, and she rides over. This is a reality for the types of men that these older women are matching with. And it's the same type of men. And in a lot of cases, it is just the same man. It's just that one older guy that sometimes throws a bone to some of these older women. Anyway, let's continue.
But that was the first thing. And I think it was all downhill from there. I need to know in the comments. Would that bother you? It was just one thing after another. Not opening the door. Not even asking me about what kind of food I like. Not asking about where did I want. Just nothing. And I don't know. Now that I'm doing this video, maybe it was selfishness and not so much. Maybe he was talk good. I don't know. I took it because I'm such an optimist. I was like, oh, he doesn't have manners. Now that I'm doing the video, like, maybe he's just slightly selfish or more than slightly selfish. What do you all think? Tell me. Would this have bothered you? I'm not going to go out with him again. It was just, for me, not a good night. But when I do find somebody I like, I'm going to share everything with you. I think. We'll see. Not there yet, but we'll see.
And there you have it. This woman is coping with this guy that she met up with online. She probably met him on a dating app. These women meet men on dating apps. And as we all know, dating apps are completely superficial. So this guy was super attractive and he checked a lot of boxes, but he was just too selfish. That's not selfishness. That's probably arrogance from these types of men. They get all sorts of different types of women. So she is experiencing this and really doesn't know what to do. She's thinking that he's rude. He's not opening the door. Here's something you have to understand. These men go on so many dates. They never open the doors. They never do. Right into the door. The date's going to happen either way. These aren't the types of women who are going to stand outside the car to wait for the door to open. They're going to get in the Bugatti. They're going to have to open their own door to get into the Bugatti. That's just how it is. And interestingly enough, there's a part 2 to this video. And she goes a little bit deeper in some of the reasons why she felt the need to not think about this man anymore. It's funny how these men do not cross these women's minds, and yet multiple minute videos are made about them.
The big red flag of the guy that I was on the date with the other night, I have to just share with you guys, because I talked about his manners and or his lack of manners. And a lot of you asked me in the comments, was he rude to the waitstaff? Yes. And I'm sorry, let me know in the comments what you think. That to me, it's an instant red flag. It's instant for me. It says so much more. If a guy is rude to perfect strangers, waitstaff, waiters and waitresses that are waiting on you and being helpful and being kind, and you're rude. I think that's when I start that are waiting on you and being helpful and being kind, and you're rude. I think that says so much more. At first, when I did the video about the first date, I said he just had no manners and he was rude. If somebody is rude to people around them, if you go out on a date with a guy and it's a first date, I'm sorry, I'm not going to give that person a second chance. Rude is rude, and rude to me says so much more. It says so much more about character, ego, selfishness. There's no reason to be rude to perfect strangers. There's no reason to be rude to anybody, right? I'm going to say, I'm calling it. This is one of my biggest red flags. If you're rude to the waiter or waitress or the hostess or wherever, if you walk into some place, anywhere, a store, whatever, and you're rude to people, instant red flag for me. What do you guys think? Tell me in the comments what you think. For me, instant red flag. I'm not going on the second date. Sorry.
Or, here's another idea that's going to be very controversial. You could shut the
I think first we need to establish the definition of rude. A lot of times these women skew the definitions of words. We went over this. A word to a woman means a completely different thing than a word to a man. Rude to me would probably mean yelling and then slamming the plate down and just being a very rude, loud person. However, some women think that if you don't get on all fours and gargle some random dude's acorns, then you're being rude to him. So you never know what the definition is. Oh, he didn't call the waiter by his name, so he was being rude. There are some people that go into restaurants and they feel like if they need the waiter for something, they will go out of their way to contact the waiter to get the waiter's attention. I see no problem with that. There are ways to do that without being rude. But the first thing we need to establish is the definition of rude for this woman. I think that maybe he wasn't rude. Maybe he was just how most guys are, just doing the date, doing the thing. This seems like a guy that has plenty of options. He really didn't have to be there with you to begin with. So he's now just following through. A lot of guys will follow through with a date. Let me know if some of you men are like this. You go on a date and you just follow through with it. Well, maybe she doesn't look like her pictures, whatever. You know what? But I'm a man of my word. I'm going to follow through with the date. I'll pay because I'm the one who asked her out on the date or whatever. So, and I'll just take the hit. It's take one for the team, so to speak. A lot of men do this. And honestly, I think it can be justified in a lot of cases because someone like this with this type of platform, you really don't want to be too negative. I'm sure he just wanted to like drive off and leave her there, but who knows what type of video that would have made for her.
One of the sexiest men I know told me that most men dislike these 3 things in a woman. I'm gonna share with you. The third one that I tell you may trigger you. Listen, don't kill the messenger. Opinion, right? No, not my opinion. His. Okay, so listen. The first one I think is kind of, oh God, I almost did it. The first one is kind of obvious. He said that men really dislike when women go like this with their hair, when the hair is down and women go, toss it. I don't know. It seems just like a habit to me, but he said men don't really like it. The second thing that he said, and this sounded kind of gross, but he explained. He said bad feet, and I said, "What you mean, like ugly feet?" And I said, "How can people help their feet?" And he said, "No, unkempt feet, feet that desperately need to be taken care of, or pedicure, rough feet." And he said, "That's pretty gross." And I was like, "All right, that kind of makes sense." The third one surprised me because I don't know. It's kind of funny that men pay attention to this, but he said that he at least and most of his friends don't like pointy fingernails. And I was like, what difference does he make? And he said, no. He said, it's really disgusting. Again, listen, don't kill the messenger. I'm only repeating what he said. I actually don't have an opinion on any kind of nails. Truly. This was what he said. So, I don't know. I figured I would share it with you all. Tell me in the comments what you think. I don't even know if the first one makes sense. Cause
No. Wait. Wait.
And here we have the top 3 things men dislike in a woman. And let's go with the first one, the hair flip. Who cares? I don't think a lot of men talk about this. This is just a crazy opinion, this first one. There are very few things men dislike in women. I would say the number 1 thing would be just don't be annoying. Just be a nice person, be a pleasant person to engage in conversation with. Don't be harsh, don't be argumentative. This is all simple things for a woman to do. A lot of women actually go out of their way to be these types of people that just argue and fight and very masculine. So as long as a woman isn't doing that, I think anything else goes case by case, man by man. Well, everything determines. A lot of men don't like a lot of arm tattoos and neck and face tattoos. Obviously, that just makes sense. That's a very masculine thing, I feel. You see a woman with a lot of face tattoos, and for me, I'm thinking, I need to stay away from this person. You're in the jungle and you see one of those frogs that are 10 different colors. You're like, well, I need to stay away from that frog. It looks like it's poisonous. So a lot of men don't like that. Now, the number 3 thing she said were her nails. Men don't like very long nails. Definitely true. Maybe some guys, they don't mind. Me personally, I'm good. I don't want any nails. Long nails, not very hygienic. A lot of women will argue that point and say, oh, well, I know how to clean properly and my hands are, I don't care what you say. It's not hygienic either way. Either you're not doing a good job or you are doing a good enough job and now you have those long nails. That is my opinion on that one. Just like the reasons with the arm tattoos and neck tattoos and everything. There's a lot of those reasons men see in women and just decide to not be involved with women at all. It's just not worth it. Every woman out there now has a sleeve full of arm tattoos. Every woman out there now gets their nails done multiple times a week, long nails, and so men are looking at these women and they are checking out. It's all the same type of women to a lot of these men. Not worth the risk, and they are seeing that. And the number 2 thing she said was about feet. There are a lot of men out there that like feet, I guess, but I don't think that's necessarily a hard rule for a lot of men. A man finds a woman that he likes and her feet really don't matter. He is able to navigate life with the thought of a woman possibly not having the exactly perfect feet in his eyes. A lot of women that's a deal breaker for most women. 99% of women. If you have bad feet, it's just not going to happen. 99% of women, if you're not above 6'5", you're out the door. You're not getting the pass. You're not making $1 million a year. It ain't going to happen. There are a lot of rules that women have for men when it comes to dating, getting into relationships. Men no rules. There are absolutely no rules. There are a few very loose guidelines that men, I think, for the most part, all agree with as at some level, maybe more, maybe some more than others. But I think that there is a common agree with most men when it comes to things to look for in women that you can just tell just by looking at them that they would not be a good pick to be involved in your life in any way, in a lot of cases. But let me know what you guys think. That's going to be in the end of today's spotlight video. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys later. Rat Boy out.